pretty rotted inside this drag link housing. So we're going to just see what we can do and get rid of this cotter pin and chip away the rust. If you have a Jeep like this, it's all rotted like this. I don't know how we're going to be able to get anything in there. I think the nut is gone, so we'll see what we can do. What we might end up doing is cutting this boot off and then taking a blade and cutting the stud so that this can just pop out and take the drag link out. Okay, so I'm going to take an air chisel to the top here after cutting that stud. Now you can just take the remaining nut and stud off the top of this housing.
When you're working on the front, the procedure is going to be the same as the back. You just don't have to take all that stuff off.
This has already been changed once, so it has aftermarket hardware on it, just a bolt and a nut. There's a little cutout here, so you can put a wrench in there to hold the nut. On this aftermarket one, it was a 17 millimeter. To install, I'm going to put the pivot stud, the ball stud in first, then I can put the base of it in and put my bolt in. Now I can go get the castle nut, put her up here. Now I can push it up as far as I can, hopefully catch a few threads, put my castle nut on or start it. Now I'm going to put my flat washer on, the back of the bolt, and then my nut. Now this doesn't come with a new bolt, just so you know. My bolt was rotted and rusted, so I got a new one. If yours is rusted and threads are missing, I suggest the same. It's kind of a difficult location. Sometimes you can maybe put the nut on a wrench box end and get it started. I'm going to guide that up in there. So I got the nut started. I'm going to put a open it box end wrench on the back side. I'm just going to bottom it out, and then I will torque it to the specs. Okay, now I'm going to get my torque wrench, and we're going to torque this to 40 foot-pounds. Now the socket to fit on this castle nut is a 3/4 inch socket, and I'm just going to snug this up. Torque specs on the castle nut for the pivot point to the frame is 60 foot-pounds. Now we have to make sure that the cotter pin hole through the castle nut is lined up on the stud. Place it in as far as it goes. So I used a screwdriver and made it so that I could bend it up more so that I had something to grab onto. With a little help from a flathead screwdriver, we're going to make it work. If it wasn't so important, I'd work around it, but it is a very important piece, believe it or not. There we go. Now I can grab my cutters and pull it over. It's not pretty, but it's not coming out.